What's up, Legends? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back on Black Ops 7 Zombies here on Ashes of the Damned, and this is going to be my new player guide to building the new wonder weapon available for the map, the Necrofluid Gauntlet. Now, this is going to be a new player guide, which means what you can expect is for me to walk you through it, not just show you how to do it, and I will be letting you know what I do, why, and when, in hopes of making the journey quite a bit easier for you, especially if you're struggling or just new to the game. Now, before we jump into it here, I do want to mention I have Toxic Growth, which is my field upgrade. It's incredibly powerful, especially for the little side Easter egg in this map that it does involve the spores or fungus that are available in multiple locations. You just place the Toxic Growth basically on top, which we're going to do shortly here, and you have a chance for Pack-a-Punch crystals, rarity tools, lots of salvage and stuff to pop out, which is incredibly helpful for the journey. The first thing we do have to do, though, is open up this door here to get access to Ted's head, and then we can actually place it within Old Tessie and be able to drive around the map. All right, we'll save one zombie. Let's go up here. We have more than enough points. Open this up, melee the little spot, and pick up Ted's head. Now we can place it on Old Tessie, and we'll be good to go. Now, if you guys have anything within this game, any type of content, any sort of challenge, whatever the case might be, that you would like to see a guide similar to this on, let me know down in the comment section below, and I will be sure to consider it for an upcoming video. I think there's a lot of things within the game people are struggling with. I think I'm not even going to think of all the things. I could easily overlook them just because there's probably players that have never even played zombies jumping into this experience. And I think it could be quite overwhelming, especially with all the augments there are to unlock and just all the things that the game actually offers. Now, I should have mentioned it when we were leaving the spawn, but you can choose to go left, which will take you to Van Dorn Farm, or we went right and we took us over here to Blackwater. Now, the first thing you got to do is turn on the pumps, or at least shoot off all the spores on these power pumps and then turn on the power. I usually go to Blackwater first just because it's like a habit. When you're doing the main quest Easter egg, one of the parts that you need is in this main building here. So it's nice to go this direction because it does end up having to go over to farm anyway. So it's just better to go to Blackwater if you're doing the main quest and then head over to farm as your final location. I do need a little bit more points. I was going to head out of here, but I do need to turn on the switch. Definitely don't forget to turn on the switch. It's a lot easier to forget in curse mode because there's no objective marker to let you know. But let's go ahead and pull out our melee. I think we can get a little bit more points that way. I think we need 1750. We might even have to flip a whole round here. Ooh, we got a double points. It's perfect. I was building up points anyway. So I'll just knife these zombies while they're still knifeable. Build up my points. Because we're going to need it at both Ashwood anyway, and we're going to need some over at farm. So I might as well build a little bit. And we can open up the door and make our way up to actually turn on the power switch, and that'll be one down. Then we're going to head on to the next location, which will be Ashwood. I think a lot of people are probably struggling to like navigate this map, and I totally get it. It is kind of confusing, and I think once you get down the routes and use the jump pads enough, it'll make it a lot simpler, but it just takes some practice. Okay, we needed to build up points once again. We're ready to open up this door here in Ashwood to get to the second power pump. I think a lot of the times that people are struggling with these power pumps, it's going to be in regards to the weapon that you're using. Don't be afraid to fail these. Like, some of the weapons are incredibly difficult. I've done enough survival and enough of the camo grind so far to have tried all the weapons to turn on the power, and I can tell you, not all weapons were created equal in regards to turning on power. Oh, we're gonna get stuck. No! And I jumped off. Oh my god, that was crazy. Don't do that. I was thinking it was gonna delete the zombies faster, and it almost did not. Woohoo! Alright, we made it back up here. Let's turn on the power switch, and we're ready to go to the third location. Definitely don't do what I just did there. That was not good. Alright, let me turn Tessie around here real quick. Let's go ahead and interact with this, which is going to upgrade it to have Pack-a-Punch, and then we'll be in a good spot. I'm going to go ahead and pull out my knife, try to knife some more enemies. We need 2,000 essence, for sure. Whoa, why are there so many in the direction that I'm headed in? There's none over here. Alright, come on. We're going to knife them. I'm being way too risky so far. Alright, there we go. We're up to 1,200. We're going to need 2,000. Basically good until one zombie's left over. Is that an insta-kill? No, that's a nuke. We don't want a nuke. No nukes. Okay. We're in a good spot. We have 2,000. Actually need ammo, so that might not be enough. All right, we have arrived at the farm. Now, there is a problem. I don't have any ammo, so I'm going to go over here and buy some from the ammo cache. And then we can quickly shoot these guys off. I'm using the M15 mod, and I believe this is probably one of the better starting weapons. I wanted to use something for this run that I knew everybody would have access to. And I know I didn't quite follow the same procedure when it came to Toxic Growth, but I think once you guys see how beneficial the Toxic Growth actually is, it'll make sense why I ran it for this, despite it not being an early game unlock. So there could be a spore here in this area, there can be a spore over here in this area, and then there's probably, more than likely in this game, one over here, somewhere in the grass, and there it is. So now we are what? Oh, we're one zombie short. That's fine. One zombie short from being able to open up the door. We can now open up this door, where we're going to turn on the last and final power switch. So we'll have access to the power across the entire map. We're going to grab the fumigator thing here, and then we're going to go over here where we have our dude, and we're going to be able to place down that toxic growth as soon as we have one available to us. So now that we're in this area, we have the power turned on, we have access to Pack-a-Punch. Now we kind of just need to build up some points because we need to wait until round 8 before we get access to what's going to be the first part to get Klaus. And we're going to need Klaus in order to get access to the Necrofluid Gauntlet. But the first step realistically is just turning on the power, and then you just need to build up enough points. I definitely recommend getting Pack-a-Punch before you do anything crazy, because you are going to be taking on an Uber Klaus, and I think it'll be pretty difficult if you choose not to do that. But we're going to do it in real time here, so you guys will be able to see it happen. But let's finish off this round, and I'm going to build up a few rounds here, not only building up my toxic growth, but trying to build up some points in the process. Okay, I was able to build up enough points, so let's show you guys this happening in real time. We're going to place the toxic growth on top, and then we're going to spray it with the fumigator. You don't even really need to protect it because the toxic growth is going to do all the work for you. You're going to kind of just hang out here. I do have a full power, so if I choose to get to another growth, or I want to place another growth down, I guess not a growth, a spore, then I would want to do that. Here we go. We got a pack 1 crystal, absolutely perfect. And we got decoys, but actually I need to hold on to the stun. Do make sure you have stuns on for this, or you're going to have to purchase them later, which is fine, but you will need stuns to activate Klaus in an upcoming step. Okay, at the start of the next round, you can go ahead and spray the spore once again, and it should start growing. It is honestly pretty fast. You guys shouldn't be waiting too long for it to happen, but you don't even need to really protect it. I'm just hanging out here because I want an opportunity to pick up the reward pretty quickly here. What did we get? Oh, we got a free perk, and it's PhD. It's not a bad perk. Let's go. That's another thing that's kind of nice. You have a chance at perks. You have a chance at weapons. You have a chance at all kinds of things that can pop out of this. But realistically, what you're after is at least a rare tool and at least a pack 1 crystal, but you can get both pack 2 and epic. Never seen any rewards higher than that, so I wouldn't expect to see a pack 3 crystal or even a legendary tool. But by the time you're already at that point, you can just save up the points that you didn't spend on those early upgrades and be able to get those final upgrades a little bit faster. All right, we got to get through these Ravagers, and then maybe we make our way over here, see if our spore regrows. Okay, we got another spore, and it did give us the rare tool. So we are in an absolutely beautiful spot. Now, you can continue to hit these each and every round. They are available in other areas of the map. You can just make sure you have a toxic spore or a toxic growth, place it on the spore, activate it with the fumigator, and there's a chance at a reward as high as, like I said, free perks, maybe an epic tool, or that pack 2 crystal. But for what we're doing here, I think we're pretty much as set up as we need to be. I am going to go and purchase at least one thing, which is going to be Jug. So I'm going to actually, well, no, we have the truck. Let's drive the truck. I got to go over to Ashwood, where we're going to get the Juggernog machine. All right, I think I have enough points for this. We just have to go up this zip line opposite of the side you normally go up, where Klaus is going to be. And down here is going to be Jug. We got Jug, probably the more important thing, just so you don't get down super quick. And then we are in a good spot to do the next part of the process. We need the stabilizer chip, which is going to be from Uber Klaus. Uber Klaus is going to be in the spawn. And before we flip the round, I think round 8 is the very earliest that you can actually do this part. We are going to head back over to farm, and I'm going to start there just in case it allows me to hit the spore at the start of the round. I mean, any opportunity you can to get free rewards is a great idea, so I definitely recommend taking advantage of that as much as possible. I don't actually know if my toxic growth is still going to be here, but it's definitely worth a shot. Okay, the toxic growth actually disappeared right after I activated this, so it is possible. Nope, it still worked. It did actually still give us a hookup. Give me the mystery perk. We got speed cola. What a W. This is why I love this little like plant Easter egg. 100% get toxic growth, take advantage of them as much as possible. It's only going to make things easier. Well, now we get to do the fun part. We have to go take on our Uber Klaus to get access to our stabilizer chip, which is going to be kind of important for the next process. I am going to take the jump pad just to save myself some time. And when we land over here, we're going to be headed over to this little box, and we should be able to fight our Uber Klaus. Now, we're going to be a little bit overpowered, being that we are rare, rarity, and pack 1 already, and we didn't have to spend any currency to do so. Come on. There it is. There's Uber Klaus. You guys probably missed these guys from Reckoning if you guys played Reckoning. At least this guy's not quite as bad as the guys over there. All right, we're going to focus on his shoulder blade. He's going to try to cook me. I'm going to plate. Focus on it again. Slide. Oh, that hurt. All right, keep shooting at it. All right, we're good. This is why it's important that you actually get at least pack 1 and maybe a rarity, just to make things easier. I mean, you'll be able to do it regardless. It'll just take longer. Okay, can't see where he's at. He's also getting blocked by zombies. All right. Did the other one go off? Nope. He's just tanky today. Oh, no, he did. He did lose it. I thought he didn't lose it. He's going to go ahead and go down. Now we got to get our Uber Klaus core. Hop on up, buddy. I can't see you. Are you back there? Oh, you are. You tried to kill me. I don't have any plates, man. There we go. And it dropped us the stabilizer chip, which is very important. And we'll be able to get started on our next step, which shouldn't be too bad. I'm going to eliminate some of the zombies just to make things easier. I don't have any armor, though, so that's kind of unfortunate. But let's make our way back to Ashwood. All right, now we're back in Ashwood. We're going to head up this zip line here. Whoop, I missed it. There we go. We're going to head up this zip line here. I'm actually going to go ahead and pull the trigger and just buy a 2-plater, so I'll have at least a little bit of armor. But you need to go over to right next to Vulture Aid, open up this door here, insert the stabilizer chip, wait till it says update requires restart. Come on. Come on, you can do it. And then that should be good. And then all we have to do is throw our stuns. 1 and 2. See the concussed effect above his head means you did it correctly. Now we just got to wait for him to actually come out and be available. Now we're going to head over to the Cosmodrome. Now this is going to be the interesting part of this, but luckily if you're solo, Klaus does make things a little bit easier. So we're going to head in that direction. If you guys are unfamiliar with where the Cosmodrome is, we're going to go out the other side of Ashwood from where we've been going and take the left, and it's going to... Basically, you're going to know you went the right direction because this pillar will be knocked down. But we're going to keep going this way, and you can see the rocket area over in the distance, which is exactly where we're headed to. All right, once you pull up here, you're going to get out on this side, and you're going to head down below. And we're going to just simply use our tactical button. All right, once Klaus actually gets his butt over here and turns it on, you need to interact with it. And then it's time for you to stand inside the laser. Now, Klaus will sit here and protect you. It is kind of limited to some degree. If you're running the Rampage Inducer, it might not be enough. But as you can see here, I'm just kind of protecting myself as much as I need to. But I'm letting Klaus do some work. Come on, Klaus. You gonna throw the Casimir? Sometimes he throws the Casimir. Pretty clutch. So we'll wait, we'll wait, we'll wait. Now that that's happened, this will open up, giving us access to the canister. The canister does make you a little bit slow, so you do want to make sure you have access to the vehicle. But luckily, with the vehicle, when you get in, the canister just goes in that little slot in the back. Oh, God. We're not quite turned around the right way. And then now we just got to go back to the power pumps where we're going to basically charge up this canister. Now, the order in which you do the canisters doesn't really matter, but you're definitely going to want to do the farm last because that's the location of where the final destination of the canister once you do the 3 power pumps. So we're back in Ashwood here. We're going to head over to the power pump. Like I said, we just have to simply interact with it. It's going to put that in, and you don't really need to even defend it or anything. You just have to stay alive. So we can basically just run away from these zombies. We don't have to interact with them. If they have purple eyes, they're going to disappear at the end of this situation in general. So just keep yourself alive. No big deal. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there. And we're good. Even the zombies that don't have purple eyes disappeared, even if it's temporary. So now we're going to jump down here. We're going to get into Tessie. Luckily, she's already facing the correct direction. And we can head over this way. And we should just head toward Blackwater. Now, the reason that Blackwater, again, is the destination you want to go to second is because the last and final place you have to take the canister is in the farm. So the 3rd and 4th locations for the canister are on that side of the map. So you don't want to have to travel all the way back to try to deliver it with the little amount of time that you are given. So we're here. We're going to get out. Simply place it in the power pump once again. Nothing required of us besides just staying alive here. I don't even know. I was going to say, go to the crafting table real quick, even. Grab me a couple plates just to keep things interesting. Oh, God. No, don't hit me. All right, we're back. And we're about to be ready. We are ready. We'll grab it again. Now it's time for us to do our little loop back toward Ashwood. So we got to turn around. We're going to go to Ashwood, and then we got to head over to the farm for the last power pump. And like I said, the final destination. Okay, and we're back over at the farm. I mean, it is pretty forgiving with the amount of time that it gives you, but if you make the wrong turn or you go to the wrong location, you really just have to pay attention to what you're doing, and it shouldn't be all that big of a deal. So now we're here. We just have to get the refined energy extraction once again, and then we're already ready for the last and final part, which is going to be in the basement of the house over there. So only a moment away, and all these purple-eyed zombies are here, trying to give us no points in the process. All right, we're good. As long as our last and final zombies don't die, we are really good. And now we can go ahead and make our way downstairs. We just walk down to this lovely box you probably saw in the survival mode or even during the beta. And all we have to do is interact with it. It's going to light up the sides, and all that's left for us is to get the actual code. So that's going to be pretty easy. Now, there's 3 icons that you need. One's going to be on that roof there. One's going to be on this roof over here that you're going to barely be able to see. And then this one that's on this thing, you're not going to be able to see at all. So we're going to have to take the jump pad, unfortunately. But can I climb? We're going to climb up here. You can kind of see it. I call that the mustache icon. And then we got the inverse gear one, I think was the other one. And now we just have to hit the jump pad to see what the water tower thing here, the water thing is. Boom! And it's that weird looking umbrella. We'll call it umbrella. So inverse gear, umbrella, and mustache. Okay, I went ahead and launch padded back over to the farm. Now we got to go down here and input our actual code. So we got what? Umbrella? Yep. And then we got, is this the one that's inverse gear? Nope, we got mustache. And then this one's inverse gear. That's what I call it. I don't think that's actually what it is, but it's what it feels like. Okay, now we can interact with the Necrofluid Gauntlet. Going to get rid of all of our zombies there. Now, this part's not all that bad, but if you guys are struggling, you could bring like a decoy, a monkey bomb. I mean, there's a lot of different things. But basically, you can just shoot at these. Oh, I didn't even hit it. There, and then reload, and then the last one, and then reload. And we're good. And we have access to the Necrofluid Gauntlet. Just like that. Very simple, very straightforward. Let's go ahead, finish off our last few zombies that we need. We have 5,000 essence. Let's go over here, and it even has Pack-a-Punch camos, which is absolutely incredible. Just like that. So this is going to be your new player guide to unlocking the Necrofluid Gauntlet in Black Ops 7 Ashes of the Dam. That's going to wrap things up for us here. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed this one. Hopefully it helps those of you that were struggling, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the next one. Peace!